Yo, so as most of you guys know, I stream a lot of Street Fighter 6, and also a lot of my friends stream a lot of Street Fighter 6. And there's one thing that I've noticed that not only I do, but all of my friends do while playing the game. It's something we all have in common, and not even just my friends. A lot of people in general who have been streaming the game, we've all been doing the same thing. And that thing is raging.
Oh my gosh!
What a scramble at the end.
Yes, we all have been raging so much at the game. And I wanted to talk about why I think it's okay to rage when playing a competitive fighting game. Now, keyword, competitive, competition. When it comes to things like competing in competition, there's a lot of passion there, and when you get angry about it's kind of a representation of the passion that you feel about what it is that you're doing. And I think that's a good thing. I think we could take examples from, different sports, even politics, just so many different avenues that aren't gaming have people get upset because they're passionate about what they're doing. Even in something like hockey, like they'll literally take their helmets off and start throwing hands, and I'm pretty sure it's legal. Like, nobody gets angry at it. It's a part of the game. Now, I do think there's a healthy way to rage and an unhealthy way to rage, right? There's nothing wrong with getting angry. It's a part of a, human emotion. We all go through it. You gotta feel it, go through it, move on to the next emotion. The negative way of raging, which I do not recommend, is when things typically turn physical. It does happen sometimes. I know I just gave that example in hockey where it's okay, but it's most definitely not okay when it comes to gaming. Now, recently there was a tournament, CEO, and I believe this kid was playing Dragon Ball Fighters or something. This happened not too long ago. He lost his match, and when he lost his match, he immediately got up and started swinging on a dude in the background. Not even his opponent. He just started swinging on the guy in the background. Now, first off, let me just say, if I so happen to pop out at one of these tournaments and one of y'all trying to swing on me, I'm sending you straight to the negative dimension. You know what I mean? Straight to the negative dimension. But that's a good example of a way not to rage. I even think there was an old clip, an old Smash clip, actually. Phantom, if you could find the clip, you're the GOAT. I forget who was playing, but I know it was a tournament and this guy lost, and then he immediately just started swinging on his opponent. Do not recommend. That is not the way to handle the emotion of losing. And I know the emotion can get heavy because of how passionate you are about the game, which is why I think it's a positive thing to feel that way, especially if your goals are to become a top player or close to it, You're gonna feel passionate about it, You're gonna feel some rage. So I definitely don't think that's the way to do it. And you never know. You might swing on someone who that might be your last swing. You might swing on the wrong person. You just never know. But other than things turning physical, I do think it's okay to rage. I think you should be respectful. Probably shouldn't be saying too much about your opponent. You should be respectful of respecting the player. Even if you don't respect the character, you might have gripes about the character that they're using or like a certain play style that they might be using to beat you. And it's important to look inward. That's one of the beautiful things about fighting games. It's one-on-one. If you lose, there's no one else to blame for yourself. So when you feel that rage, when you feel that anger, when you feel that passion, it should be focused inward. And I don't say that in a way where you should be saying negative things about yourself. You should always say positive things about yourself. Everything has to do with everything, so stay positive. But yeah, it should be inward. If you lost 9 times out of 10, it's your fault. There's not a lot of games out there where you're like, where you could actually say it's BS. Smash Brothers is one of those games where sometimes there's just some BS that happens. But typically it's on you, So that's really just what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about how it's okay to rage. It's okay to take breaks, because sometimes that passion that you're feeling, that rage that you're feeling, it'll cause you to make even more mistakes, which will cause you to get madder and madder and madder. And then you start playing worse and worse. And there's a lot of people that can feel that anger, and it actually powers them up. The angrier they get, the better they play. They learn how to harness it in a way to where they just become godlike. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It's just something that I've been observing. All of my friends have been raging at the game. I've been raging at the game. I've been blaming things on the game and not on myself. And I see my friends doing the same. And I just wanted to let everyone know that it is okay to rage. It's okay to rage. It's okay to take breaks. And as a matter of fact, I think it's probably a good thing. I think it's good to feel some emotion, because that's how you're passionate about what you're doing. Anyways, comment down below. Let me know about a time that you've raged. I would love to hear your guys' worst rage stories. If you've punched your desk, punched your keyboard, through your controller, let me know about it. And let me know how you felt after that moment of passion. Comment down below. Make sure you come check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/it's Dwella. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Barry.
You the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you sub, like I said, leave a comment down below, turn on the notification bell, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for all the love you show me, but more importantly, don't forget to show love to yourself, take care of yourself, and never forget, you matter. I'm out. Love.